Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jasmine Contreras from Mini Pug Journals, and today I thought I'd share with you all this kind of a folio. This is an incomplete version. I created it using some envelopes. I think last time I mentioned when I was doing a flip through of my video how I receive a lot of Sticky Club packages. Sorry, I'm covering my address. And because I do have a subscription, so I have quite a bit of these envelopes and I'm trying to repurpose. And so I was thinking about it for a really long time, whether I wanted to package the extras with my journals in a different way, or if I just wanted to send them off like that. I ultimately decided that, maybe the first couple of people who purchase will receive it in one of these, or maybe I'll just make one for all of them. So these are using, I covered it up using scrapbook paper, and then, using offcuts, I decorated the envelope. So I do kind of want to show you all. I did make one, but I already have it packaged up, so I can't take it out. But I wanted to share with you all how I made them. So I did use these, I did make these using paper bags. So it could be one like this. I used a bigger one like this one. Like the ones you get at the store. Or even like this one. This one's all torn up though. But basically what I did was I opened the bag from the bottom, right? And I extended the bag, so I guess I could do that. So I guess another reason why I decided to make these is because I have so many paper bags that I've been hoarding, and I really needed to use them up. So anyway, I tore the bottom open, right? And you can trim off this, and you can remove the handles. And then I kind of measured out how wide I wanted it. And then I extended the bag, completely, right? And after I've cut out the size I want and I've extended the bag, I basically, I cut open the top portion, right? So this is the extended part, and this one, right? So one of these, the top fold-ins, I cut it open, and the other one I left it intact. And what I did to protect, to kind of make it more sturdy here, since we're going to be putting stuff in and I didn't want it to like tear easily because it's still paper, I folded it and then I folded it again. So, and then I folded this one and I folded it again, and it's going to go folded in this way. So like this. And then on this side, it would naturally be folded in this way, like this. So the bag is originally like this. I extended it, right, and then I figured this was too shallow for me because it would make it way too tall. So I just folded it whatever depth I wanted the second pocket to have, which is what you'll see right here. So this one hasn't been, so I plan to sew them, okay? But essentially right here, you see, this is gonna be one pocket, and then this is gonna be another pocket right here. I decided to add a third pocket in the bag. You don't really have to, you can just cover the bag. And then the envelope would be the last pocket. So I need to finish sewing this one, but I wanted to show y'all. So yes, this is already a prepared bag. So once again, I'm just going to go over it one more time because I want it to be understandable. So once you've cut up your bag to your desired size, it's going to look like this, right? With these are like the things that make it open wide to put stuff in it, right? So we're going to extend these out, and then we're going to cut one side of it, right? So we're going to cut this side open, and then I folded it down to make it more sturdy, right? So I folded these like this, and then this one, this part, I just decided that I wanted to, I folded it deeper to make a deeper pocket. Instead of just leaving it as is, which would have been like here, I decided I wanted it to be a deeper pocket. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry. So for instance, over on this one, you can see a chevron kind of yellow washi is what I use. You can see it right here better. I didn't, like I said, I didn't really add glue to the washi tape because it's mostly being covered with this collaging, so I don't feel like it'll, you know, be something I need to be concerned about, like it'll come off. Maybe in hindsight you could add some glue over here, or you could just collage over it. I didn't, and I don't plan to, but definitely maybe some glue there. So I already did this step, which was when I doxed myself. So what I did was I glued the envelope flap on the inside, what is going to be the biggest pocket, and that's it. So that's what I did right now. I was mentioning how I personally really like using PVA glue. I know that it can warp the paper, but I've just found that it's the glue that works best for me. I don't know if it, like, the weather has to do with it, or, you know, something, but it's just, you know, it just works best for me. So I decided that I want to cover the back. Like I said, on this one, I covered the back and I added a pocket, right? On the very first one I did, I just covered the back, and I may just end up covering the back on this one as well. It just depends on how I feel. But definitely, I feel like this is a project that you could use with smaller paper bags, like maybe gift bags, or like I mentioned, oops, like for instance, this Hollister bag, not sponsored, right? Is smaller than what, you know, a Walgreens, a Wingstop, or you know, a grocery store paper bag would be, obviously, because those are intended for more items, right, or bulkier items instead of like clothes. So I personally decided to use those because ironically, I guess, part of my kits for my whoever decides to purchase, right? Oh, oops, I seeped some of my glue seeped. For the people who decide to purchase one of my journals, right? If any, I will be giving them like a pack of extra goodies, and I wanted to pack it up nicely, or as nice as I can. So that's what's going on here. I don't like how it's stuck, sorry. So that's why I decided to make these. But obviously, and as I was saying, sorry, I'm distracted. And one of the extras is a craft bag, a craft paper bag. So obviously I want it to be able to fit in these. So that's why I'm using those larger bags instead of maybe a smaller bag like the Hollister bag. It can be a little bit hard. My paper trimmer does tend to cut crooked, so I'm noticing that this is a little bit crooked. I don't really mind. I could add, you know, if something like that does happen, you could always add something like lace, you know, to cover that up. If it bothers you, I might. So all of these will be very different, like I said. And it also depends on how straight you cut your bag. So as you can see, I didn't do a very good job. But I'm not really bothered by it, so I'm just gonna leave it. I feel like I'm not perfect, so I feel like my work tends to portray that, and I'm okay with that. Something I learned from Leah from Thrifty Day, as she always says. You know, we're not perfect, and that's okay, and my artwork wouldn't be my artwork if it was perfect, right? So for the inside, I decided to, when I cut this piece out, I didn't cut it all the way down because this is going to be sewed in, right? It's going to be a pocket. So I don't feel the need to waste all that extra paper. If, you know, you feel like you want to do that, like that's what works for you, then, you know, by all means, go for it. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. So I only did about, you know, maybe like halfway, a little bit over. Now, personally, I have noticed that PVA will warp thinner paper more. I don't really feel like it warps cardstock too much. So I feel like it's a good project to use it on. I don't really mind that the paper bag shows. I want it to be known that it's a paper bag personally, because I like it to be known that I reuse materials. That's just personal preference. I know that some people don't, and that's okay. So definitely, you know, you could obviously do a better job at cutting the paper bag than I did, or at cutting the paper. My paper trimmer just isn't the best. It tends to cut pretty wonky. So it's a lot of playing around, seeing how I can get it as straight as I can, and sometimes it's just not possible. But I try. So 1 second. So I will try to spread this glue. Hopefully it helps a little with the warping. This is like a face mask spreader. I bought it at Dollar Tree. So, but I've seen other people use them to like spread glue. You could also always use a brush. I just don't know where my glue brush is right now. So this is what I'm using. Like I said, I did buy it at Dollar Tree. I had bought another one and I lost it. And I went to Dollar Tree, I don't know how many times, to try and find another one, and I just couldn't find one until recently when I went again and I was able to allocate one. This is a book. This page is from I want to say a bonsai book, I believe. or maybe it's just a book about plants. So what I did with all of mine, all of the ones I've been making, for this one I only used scrapbook paper. I don't remember for the first one if I used book pages as well. But I just used scrapbook paper for this one. I also used some scraps, as you can see. But for all of them, the envelopes were with scraps that I already had at hand. So I'm just gonna gather scraps from all these envelopes I've been making. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Chose my paper. Yeah, so I trimmed and I chose and trimmed my scraps. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, you could definitely make these smaller, you know. I have pen pals, and or even when I do like swaps and stuff, I will try my best to make them as pretty as possible and sturdy and protected as possible. I would just hate for, you know, something to happen in transit. You just never know, I guess, right? You just never know. Not to say that, you know, the post office does it on purpose or anything, but mail does get lost, and or, you know, even if you put on those fragile, do not bend stickers, sometimes it just can't be helped. So I try to protect the mail as much as I can when I do send it out, especially if it's like I said, pen pal mail or happy mail or swap mail. And it's nice to send out something in pretty packaging. I'm sure the recipient will appreciate it. Oh, I was gonna tell you guys something and I just forgot what I was gonna say. Can't seem to remember. Oh gosh, what was it? Oh, right. I'm not going to ink the edges on any of these. You guys can, and I'm sure that'll look super cool if you did. Oh, shoot. My bad. But I personally won't. It's just easier that way. But you can, and I'm sure it'll look super nice if you do. Oops, got some glue here on this tablecloth. So I was gonna use that one, but I've decided to use this strip from the border of the paper pad. Sure, y'all know what I'm talking about. I will usually save those as well and use them up. Sometimes projects just need that tiny little piece of paper or that super thin piece of paper, and that's when I use them. Or in clusters. I just avoid the ring, the punch area, and it works out. So one side, and then I already cut out this side as well. So as I said, I will be sewing mine. You do not have to sew. You could just glue the pockets shut and that'll work just as fine. Personally, I just like, the look of sewing, I guess. So I sew whenever I can. I don't love sewing, but I will do it when for that pretty look, I guess. Not that I don't like it. I like sewing. It's so time consuming sometimes, and my sewing machine does take up a lot of space in my desk, but like I said, it gives a really nice look to your project, so I do so when I can, but when I don't have to, I will try my best to cut corners. Well, not cut corners, but I guess make it easier on myself, because sewing can take some time, and then, you know, the bobbin runs out of thread, so you gotta stop, and then you gotta rethread the bobbin, and then sometimes, you know, something's just too thick, and the sewing machine will mark an error, so I need to stop and check what's going on, try and fix it, hope that I didn't wreck my sewing machine, and then keep going. But it does leave a very nice, very pretty effect, even on journals, or, you know, whatever it is that you're making. So, okay, there we go. I think I might add a little tuck spot right here. I think. Yeah, I like that. So all of them vary. Like I said when I started, it just really depends on my mood, how I feel about things, how many pockets I feel like adding. It just really depends. So for this one, I don't think I will add a pocket in the back. Probably just leave it blank. And call it a day. But you definitely could add, maybe I'll add, no, these are too short. If I had a longer scrap, let's see. No. If I had a longer scrap, I would consider maybe a belly band, or maybe a side tuck. Sorry, my dog is asleep and I think she's dreaming. Doesn't sound like the most pleasant dream. Okay, so I've cut this to size. It's a little bit shorter, but it's okay. Just gotta keep going with it. Yeah, I'll make it a side pocket. I believe these paper pads, some of them are from Michael's. I believe this one is from Michael's. I think it's Cornflower Cottage or something like that. It was on sale last year. Now I kind of regret only having bought one, but I guess it is what it is. And another one of these is, I believe, I'm actually not sure. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know if it's like Maggie Holmes paper or another paper pad. I will usually go with whatever I find on sale that I like, because paper pads can be kind of pricey sometimes. So yeah, this is going to be a side tuck. So I'm just going to let this dry, and I will then, oh, this is from a paper pad in Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to let this dry, and I will start sewing this one, and I might just show you the end result from this one, because this one might take a while to dry, or I might just wait until it dries, sew both, and then come back and show y'all. You do want to wait for everything to dry, because if you don't, your needle will get all gunky and gross, and then you gotta remove it and clean it, and you know, try your best to clean it. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back as soon as I finish sewing them. So I only stitched one because I don't really have time right now to wait for this one to dry and then come and record again. But as you can see, I stitched around the border of the envelope just to kind of try to keep these in place, and because I like how it looks. I've already loaded this one up so you can kind of see what it'll look like, what one that's been filled up would look like. Has stuff in here, and then here you can fit, I don't remember what size these doilies are, but these are from Dollar Tree, the heart ones. And then here in the inner pocket, you got the paper bag and a little napkin. And then on the back, I just put some wallpaper pieces and another piece of scrapbook paper, another tiny doily that I got from Michael's during Valentine's. So you can fit quite a bit of stuff in these. Like I said, you could always make them smaller. Obviously these, hang on, let me see. These sticky clip envelopes are about a little over 6 inches, or maybe like 6 inches. Yeah, a little over 6 inches and in width, and almost like a little over 8.5 inches in height. So these are pretty big. The measurement of this is about almost 11 inches in height and almost 7 inches in width. So they are, I made mine pretty big, like I said, because I was going to fit in a paper bag. But if you used a smaller paper bag and smaller envelopes, you could make it to whatever size you need. And this is just an idea of a little folio or pocket folio that you could create when you send out mail. It's pretty sturdy, so I feel like my mail would be pretty protected, and it's just an idea. So I did stitch around the entire border of the whole thing to secure both of these pockets, and then like I said, I just sewed on this one because I like how it looks, and just to help also protect the edges a little bit more. That way the items won't hit all the way to the edge, because these envelopes are a little bit frail. They've already been in the mail once, and I am a little bit concerned even with the washi tape. So the stitches stop the contents from hitting all the way to the bottom or all the way to the edges. For this one, I will do the same thing, but this one will have a little side tuck here, and a side tuck here. So you can really make so many, you could do so many things with these. You could change them up from what I've done. You could add another pocket here, or another pocket here in the front, or just a little tuck spot. Like if you added, let me see. Oops. If you added, let's say you only glue the this edge and stick it here, it would help stick papers in here, or you could glue another pocket here that's maybe the entire length of the envelope, or a tuck spot. You can make another pocket here. You could, instead of this, maybe you could make it a belly band in the middle, or a belly band sideways, another, or maybe 2 more pockets in the back. You have so many options, really, with these. It just really depends on whatever you want to make with them. The pockets are endless. But this is just how I decided I wanted to make them. I didn't need so many pockets because the envelope is already so big. It fits a lot of what I need. This pocket already fits the doilies that I needed. And honestly, this extra pocket in the back, the very first one I made, I didn't have one. So I know I don't need this extra pocket in the back, but I just decided to make it because I wanted to. The same thing with this. I don't really need these extra tuck spots, but I decided to add them, you know. Whoever receives these can probably send them out with other mail, give them away, or maybe keep them as ephemera holders for maybe bigger sized ephemera, or maybe scraps of paper. You know, I have so many of these scraps, I could probably fit some of them into these envelopes or in these pockets, maybe bigger scraps. Like maybe once I cut this end off, I could stick like maybe like longer scraps like this one in here. It just really depends whatever you want to use them for. I'm using them to protect my mail, to protect these kits that I have when I send them out, because I have a couple of them. And like I said, because I'm already adding so many extras, maybe I'll only send these out with the first people who buy from me, or I don't know, I haven't decided. Maybe I'll make one for every single person. It just really depends on what sells first, or you know, all that kind of stuff. Maybe I decide it's too big for the smaller journals. They're gonna obviously fit in smaller packages. But yeah, so this is all I wanted to share with y'all today. Like I said, you could, if you made it a smaller size, you could probably even attach it to your journals. Let's see. This is my journal. It's pretty big, really big. So as you can see, this is a big boy. And if you wanted to, if you made one, maybe, obviously maybe not this size, but maybe one that would fit inside your journal, you could probably, let's see, where's the blank page? Here we go. If I wanted to, I could probably, if I left, I could move the envelope to this side, right? So instead of it being on this side, hang on, let me grab something to cover my address. There we go. If I wanted to, I could add the envelope over on this side instead of this side, right? The envelope would be over here. Or you could add multiple envelopes, you know? I could probably washi tape this into my journal, you know? And this is how it would look. Just make it a little bit bulky, I bet. So that's, you know, that's one option if that's something y'all want to do. You can do that. So you could do that, or maybe you could add, like I said, multiple envelopes, maybe one envelope on this side, one envelope on this side before you glue everything down. So for instance, this one isn't glued in yet. So for instance, you could attach this one here, or maybe a little bit lower. Oh, it's already glued itself. Oh no. You could attach another one over here to make it like a double flip, you know. Or you could maybe use smaller envelopes and bigger envelopes. Maybe you could use you could use different types of envelopes. So maybe if you use a bigger one, and then maybe one of these, and then, you know, maybe an even smaller envelope over here. Really, it's an endless, you know, like I said, endless piece of whatever it is that you want to do. If you wanted to, you could even attach it to the back of a journal. Obviously, you wouldn't decorate the back of it, right? But you could attach it to the back of your journal. This one's a little too tall for mine. Well, a little too thin, but the height is about perfect, really. It's like I made it to size. But you could attach it to the back of your journal. Obviously, you wouldn't decorate the back of it. And you could have a folio in your journal. Like I said, you could add more envelopes and make it a lot of flips. Or you could just attach it to one of the pages. So if I wanted to, I could just attach it to one of the pages. Obviously, if this one was smaller, I could attach it to one of these pages, and, you know, I would have a folio in here. So yeah, these are all just, you know, ideas for all of you guys to have. Like I said, you could use it as an insert in your journal if you wanted to. If it's more of a traveler's notebook style journal where instead of having signatures, you have, sorry, this one isn't as taut as I would like it. Instead of having, you know, signatures like this, you have maybe elastics. You could reinforce this and then attach it as an insert. Or like I said, you could attach, if the envelope is on the opposite side, you could attach it with washi tape or tape, aged tape, like this. I know, where is one page that has some? Okay, like this. So this is like aged tape, Tanya Samuels, from, I think it's Let's Design Creative or something like that, but her name is Tanya Samuels. You can find her on YouTube. She has a tutorial on how to make your washi tape look like this. What you basically use are these Tim Holtz or Ranger ink Ranger ink refillers. This one's ginger, and I don't remember which other one. Or I think it's mocha. Sorry, that's my dog. So ginger, maybe mocha. And you set your strips of tape on parchment paper. You cover them with this, you know, you dab this on and you spread it around and you get this aged look. Like I said, Tanya Samuels has a tutorial on it. I use that to attach a lot of my single sided pages on this journal. But anyway, I digress. So you could use maybe something like that to attach it to one of your pages. So for instance, this is more of a little bit cardstock page, so it's a little bit more sturdy. Could either attach it to the page directly if my back wasn't decorated, or I could, I don't remember what the term is, but where you attach like some washi in the front, washi in the back and washi in the front, and you just add it like a regular page in here. So there is that option as well, or you could also sew it in. You have so many options. Or if you attach an envelope on this side, you could attach a second envelope over here and just attach it to a page like this. And you could have it as a flip, and then it, you know, the second, like, oh, it's my bad. You could attach it like this, and then have it as a flip, and then if you have another envelope over here, it would flip out as well. So you have a lot of options with these. You don't have to be just for Happy Mail. They could also be used as inserts in your journals. That's actually a really good idea. I might make one like that for myself. So yeah, I hope you guys found some inspiration from this. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments if I wasn't clear on something. Like I said, you don't have to sew these in. You could probably use just glue or even washi tape. Well, maybe not tape. At least not on the edge with the envelope, because that would be a little bit hard, I guess. Unless you use double stick tape, double-sided tape. But yeah, I personally just like sewing. You do want to be careful though. For instance, I don't have a heavy duty needle for on my sewing machine. I need to buy one. So on these layers where there's so many layers, like it's the 2 layers of the paper bag plus the layer of the pocket plus the, like for instance, I had this back pocket as well, so more cardstock. It can get a little bit difficult for your sewing machine, so maybe you just want to help it a little bit by manually doing some of the stitches, maybe especially at the in the bottom half. I noticed that mine doesn't struggle so much on the top, but more on the bottom where it has more layers, so you just want to be mindful of that. Or you know, just have a more heavy duty needle, and you know, check your tension and stuff like that. So I hope y'all find this helpful. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and thank you so much.